Hey, it's Ben again from Crawl Run. Today I've got something really special to show you. Attio released its MCP server recently, and I've been using it to reduce manual work across the team like crazy. If you didn't already know, Attio stores all your conference calls and emails directly in its database and makes this available to your favourite large language model. So why does this matter? This means that the agents you work with have some unbelievable context to drive outrageously complex workflows that can streamline your business. In today's example, I'll show you 2 ways to automate pitch decks. Let's have a look at how this works. Okay, so I've got a fairly standard process that I follow for my presentations to customers. I've created a template here that I'm going to be merging information into that will drive the workflow in question. So as you can see here, I've got a title page with the customer's name, and I would typically spend a lot of time putting together details around what I've heard from the customer, or what their target state might be, deliverables for the project, and also pricing at the end of the document as well. This probably takes me 2 or 3 hours to complete every time that I do this, and I'm completing 2 or 3 of these every week. As I mentioned earlier, there are a couple of ways to set this up. First of all, the slightly more manual way to do it. You can connect Attio's MCP server to Claude's web or desktop app. I've also set up the Slack MCP connector and Zapier's MCP for Google Slides, but this will also work with Sheets and Google Docs as well. When I run this prompt, some magic happens in the background. Claude will analyze all the rich data in Attio from my calls, notes, emails and records in the system and produce a well-considered pitch deck for me with all of the necessary context. It will even notify me in Slack when complete. Let's kick this off. Okay, so the process takes a couple of minutes to run, but this usually gives me an opportunity to catch up on social media or perhaps some important work items. So what happens next is I get a message in Slack with a link to the proposal and then a summary of what the system has put together for me. So let's have a look at what this looks like. As you can see, we've got the same template that we were looking at before, but it's now been personalized with information around the customer. So on the title slide, we've got the customer's name, and then we've got some details here around what we've heard from the conversations that we've had so far, as well as the customer's target state. And this is all being informed by the emails and the conference calls that are recorded in Attio, and Claude has the smarts to analyze that information, summarize it, and put together this content for me. In my prompt, I've also provided it with details around how to put together deliverables for an Attio project, and the system is now able to automatically put these together for me. It also does rough estimations on the effort involved in each of these tasks as well. So much so that if you look at the commercial summary page here, the system has outputted the total number of hours associated with this project, and based on my hourly rate, it has calculated the total cost for this project. Now, of course, these things aren't perfect. I still need to do a quick review with each of these before I present it to a customer, but it has greatly reduced the amount of work that I'm doing around these pitch decks and has saved me a lot of time each and every week. But that wasn't quite enough for me. I also wanted to take things one step further. I didn't want to have to jump between different browser windows, remember prompts, or copy and paste information across, or anything like that. So what I've created is an automated process in Attio that will run on any deal, and I can kick that off by selecting this option here to generate a sales proposal. That will then send a webhook through to Zapier with information around the deal in question, customer name, simple details like that. There is then some custom code that we've put together that will run and process the information that it's received from that webhook. It will reach out to Attio and get any other details that it needs around the conversations that I'm having with that particular customer. And then off the back of that, it will leverage that information to put together that Google Slide document that I showed you before. And then finally, to round out that process, it will send me a message in Slack as well. So as you can see here, I've received another notification in Slack once that process is finished. I can click this link to open up the proposal that has been generated by the system. This works in a very similar way to what I showed you before, so I won't go through all of the details, but it has been fully generated from start to finish with just a click of a button within Attio. So this is just one potential scenario for how you could use this technology. It could also potentially be used for things like your sales handover documentation, maybe workshop summaries, requirements gathering, maybe even your customer contracts that you're putting together post conversations that you're having with them. This technology is just incredibly powerful, so I'd encourage you all to think about those different use cases within your own business. So hopefully you found this valuable. If you'd like to see more content from us, please like and subscribe to this channel for more exciting updates.